This podcast is brought to you in part by PNP Games, your online source for everything video games. Visit their website at pnpgames.com or at one of their 3 retail locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba. In this episode of the D-Res podcast, we're going to be talking about Halo, some Xbox One news, ZeniMax, and Half-Life 2. Come join us in this episode, number 13 of the D-Res podcast. All right, everybody, and welcome to the D-Res podcast, episode number 13. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison, and joining me, Will Kelly. Will, how are you?
I'm doing great, Lloyd. I'm kind of full. I got to tell you, I ate a big meal before I came, and it was a delicacy known as crickets. And yeah, I know there's speculation about that and my hunger for crickets, so I just thought I would go ahead and spill the beans here, and
spill the bugs.
Spill the bugs.
Wow.
I also got to say one more thing. I wondered if you were going to trip up on our intro based on the way in which you spelled certain items.
Oh, it was just what the heck? So here, let's try it again. So, D-Res podcast, doop. And there it goes. Okay, now I have the video set up properly, so it will actually start at the start. This is our new intro video that Will, you put together. You're like a wizard, man.
Thanks. I had to do something to prove my worth around here. I mean, it's not just showing up with my good looks and my charm. I had to throw something else to the show.
Nice. Well, it turned out really amazing. Everybody in the chat room, what do you think of the video intro that we did? I dig it, man. That looks so awesome. Gets me
Thanks.
even more pumped up than just listening to the music.
I know, right? It's like the perfect combination. It's like peanut butter and chocolate.
It is. It's really, really, really awesome. So, how the heck have you been besides full?
I've been good. I haven't played as much video games as I'd like, but I think that's kind of every week in the life of a gamer. And I missed you, Lloyd. I was telling you today I was so excited about tonight's show to talk to you and to talk to all of our fine listeners and viewers. And I'm just stoked, man. I'm glad to be back. I'm excited for this episode.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to have you back. We did last week's show. We had Joe Foreman came and joined me for last week. And turned out fun. He's a fun guy. Got a good show in, talked about some things. Did you manage to catch it while we were streaming? Did you yell at us through the internets, screaming at your screen or anything, shaking fists?
Unfortunately, I listened to it after the fact, so I was shaking my fist then, but not during the actual live event. But no, it was awesome. He was very entertaining and fun to listen to. So
That's awesome. Well, it was good. Thanks again to Joe Foreman from the You Like the Worst Stuff podcast for filling in last week for a indisposed Will Kelly. But Will's here, so let's get into this. We love doing the show. Love hearing from you guys. We didn't get too much feedback, but we did get one voicemail. I'm gonna cue that up because I totally didn't do it before starting the show, so I'm gonna get that queued up while we do this.
If you want, I can sing and dance while you're doing that.
I don't even know anymore. When was this one? 3 days ago? I think this is the one. Yeah, I think this is the one. Do you want to do this right now?
Let's do it.
Okay,
yeah, I'm excited. This is news to me. So
yeah, smart man would have put it in the notes already, but I didn't. I'm not a smart man. But we want to hear from you guys. If you want your voicemail to be played on a future episode of the D-Res podcast, head on over to vgpodcast.com. Click send us a voicemail. I believe that's what the link is called. On the side of the page, the right-hand side of the page, right in the middle, it floats in the middle. It's called Send Voicemail. You click it, and it will tell you exactly what to do. You can record right on your computer. If you have an Android or an iOS app, you can record right from that, device rather. You can record right from the SpeakPipe app. Send us a voicemail, and then it makes it really easy for you and for us to play those. If you want to do it the old-fashioned way, you can call area code 505 VG Podcasts on your device of choice, whether it's your computer or if you want to pick up the phone and do it, that's cool. Or you can email us a question, vgpodcast@gmail.com. Bug us on Twitter @DasMe and @iLiam. But without further ado, let's get into this.
Hello, D-Rez. This is Justin from Pennsylvania, aka NyQuil Dreams. I just listened to episode 9. You kind of did a big dump of episodes, so I know this is not the most recent. But you had, I think it was Dark.
Yeah, I got to apologize for that. So if everybody has been following VG Podcasts and been listening to shows, I had some issues with my new computer. I was having issues getting out the encoded files because of many, many, many things conspiring together to make my life difficult. So my apologies for dumping like 8 shows in the span of 3 days. If your podcatcher is set to only download the most recent show, you should probably go and check for other episodes that you haven't heard yet, because there was a lot. There was a couple Nintendo Pulses, a couple Togs. There was like 3 Derezed. It was pretty ugly. I hope that will never happen again. And NyQuil Dreams, thanks for making mention of that, because that's another thing I forgot to mention at the start of the show. But let's get into the rest of the voicemail.
Jay had brought up the what brings you back to gaming. And I remember my personal moment for me was when the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game got brought to the Nintendo. And I remember being like, oh my God, I am playing that arcade cabinet that I love and dropped tons of quarters on with my friends playing, is now in my home, sitting in front of my TV, and I was just amazed. And, and now it's like, as it's gone on, I'm into the story, I love Telltale games because the stories are so good. I just get so into all of it, and it's something I can't stop reading about. I can't stop thinking about playing the games. And, and with like services like now, like PS Plus, that just gives you this opportunity to play these games that I never would have played because, I can't afford to buy them all. And it's just like, right now with discounts and everything, like I feel like gaming has never been cheaper. Games have never been this good. And it's just all around, I think it's becoming more accessible to more people. Like my wife, she had owned a few game systems in her lifetime, and now like she still plays with me. Like we just played Octodad, we got it on a discount. I got it for $12. We played it for a few hours and we had a blast. We had more fun doing that than we do watching, a mediocre movie. So I think that right now, like for bringing back the casual gamers, it's just going to be the right title. It's going to be like, we captured that, and it may never be captured again to quite that level, but I don't think it's a bad thing. And I just think that gaming, once people realize what gaming is, it's not just one thing, people then will be much more accepting of it and be much more likely to say, yeah, I play games. So I think that's what I wanted to say. I really liked your comments. I thought you guys were spot on with everything, but I kind of want to just share like my moments that brought me into gaming and what's kept me coming back even, as up to now. And, I love the show, guys. Just keep it up. And, I like to make the chat more often, but, thank you guys for this. And I really appreciate, having the ability to call in and talk to you guys. So have a good one. Thanks. Bye.
All right, awesome. So thanks, NyQuil Dreams, for sending that one in. And I remember those days. I remember picking up like Final Fight on Super Nintendo, and even though it only had 2 of the 3 characters, it's like, holy crap, I'm playing the arcade game in my house. Or the time when I went on a trip, and I picked up a Capcom Fighter Power Stick and Street Fighter, and I spent like $200 to get the game and this controller, and I was playing Street Fighter 2 just the regular edition. I don't even think it was the Turbo edition in my living room, and it's like, oh my god, I have an arcade in my house. I got to get all my friends to come over. And yeah, it's experiences like that totally keep bringing me back. Just the love of previous experiences, revisiting those, and even more so now, having kids, wanting to share some of those same experiences with them. It's I don't know, it's pretty awesome. Gaming is awesome.
Yeah, it's funny he mentioned the arcade, and we've talked a little bit about arcades and growing up, and that was for me a huge part of my childhood. The other day, my wife and I, we were watching TV, and it's a show that takes place in the 80s, and these brothers went to the arcade, and it was so funny because it was what I remember going to the arcades were like. It was a handful of quarters and infinite possibilities of this, wide open, all the video games you could consume until you ran out of quarters. And that defined and shaped me in so many ways. And I tried to explain to her that feeling I had when I was a kid and that experience, and how it's something I looked fondly back at with my dad and spending time with him. And she just couldn't grasp it, which is, I find, is often the case when you're trying to explain the experience of video games to others that just either don't get it or haven't experienced it themselves. And so I think what Nyquil Dream said about the accessibility with gaming these days, it started kind of with the Wii, and it's really taken off with touch devices. It's broadening the audience to such a degree that it's great for us, even if you're a hardcore gamer and the majority of the population only plays these more casual experiences. It's still gaming, and it's going to help everyone, developers and gamers alike. So, wise words.
Yeah,
Nyquil Dream.
Totally, and it's still really funny. I have talks with people that they're playing like Candy Crush or whatever on their mobile phone, and I'm like, you like playing video games? So like, oh no, I don't play video games. Like, but what? No, you do play video games. You're playing a video game. Oh no, this is just a time waster. Like, it's a game that you're playing on your phone. You're playing video games. Oh no, but I don't play games. No, I don't really like games. And it's just like,
you play Candy Crush.
It's like, what? You're playing a game. Did you play Solitaire on your computer? Oh yeah, no, I played that a lot. I'm like, you're playing video games. Well, no, I don't play video games. And it's like, what? Yeah, it's so funny how there's still a stigma to some people, but yeah, it's amazing how accessible and everywhere video gaming has become. You don't have to sneak away to an arcade as a kid and hang out with all the bangers and all the other type of people that hung out at the arcade, the heavy metal t-shirts, long hair, smoking outside, like that crew. You'd walk by them and it's like, someone gonna beat me up, and then go and play video games for a couple hours and then leave. You don't have to do that anymore. Like, gaming is everywhere, and it's pretty damn awesome.
It is awesome. And I remember there's a time when I would have been embarrassed to carry my handheld on the train or on the bus or something and play in it. And you know what? Now it's like I wear my gaming pride on my sleeve, and who cares who knows that I'm a gamer, because we're all gamers. Sure,
totally. I can remember because I used to take the bus. I had a long commute to work for the longest time, and to school and everything. And I would read like EGM or GamePro. And I'd sit at the back of the bus and I'd be sitting there reading, and then someone would come sit close to me, and I'd be like, damn. So I'd put the magazine away and just kind of stare out the window, because heaven forbid anybody sees that I'm reading a video game magazine on the bus. Nowadays, I mean, everybody's playing games. Like, it's not a thing anymore. It's it's a thing, but it's not a bad thing anymore.
Right. Before we had our tablets and stuff, when I was still buying magazines to ride planes, I always hated it when the hot girl would sit next to me on the plane, because then I would have to discreetly hide my video game magazine, because
you'd have to flex and read Sports Illustrated.
Right. And grunt every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, just so funny how things have changed so much, and it's a good thing. So, Nyquil Dreams, you brought up some great topics. Thanks for that voicemail. We'd love to hear from each and every one of you that's listening to the show. VGpodcasts@gmail.com is our email address, or 505 VG Podcasts. Of course, you can leave a voicemail right on our homepage. We'd love to do a lot of stuff about. We'd love to play a lot of voicemails from you and talk about more things like that. All right, cool. Well, let's get into the rest of the show. Will, you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Are you
We
ready?
got lots of fun stuff to talk about.
Are you really ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right.
Do I need to be more excited?
So this week, do you feel cheated, Will?
No. I know what you're getting at. You're baiting me.
I'm not.
You're baiting me like the trolls on the internet. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. So, Will, do you like video games more, or no? How would that be? I'd be baiting you. So, Will, have you stopped murdering homeless instead of playing video games?
No, I have not done that.
No.
Or
Okay,
wait,
good.
have I? I don't know what's right.
Yeah, one of those
You're
baiting
confusing.
questions where even if you deny it, it's like, well, then you did it one time. You're not, you've stopped, but you did it one time though, right? Yeah, those types of questions. That's kind of what this one is. We had some megaton bombs dropped on the internet this week, and that was the fact that Xbox One has completely changed, like 1,000% from when it was first announced to what it is now. We had an announcement this week from Microsoft that they are in fact going to be selling in June 9th. I think that's the day of their E3 press conference, that you'll be able to go to stores and you're going to be able to buy a $399 Xbox One system. Finally, they dropped to match prices with a PS4, which is awesome. But this box is going to have no Kinect in it. It's going to be Kinectless, which is just like, I think back to all of the conversations I had from leading up to last year's E3, at E3, everything else. But I can remember all these quotes where Xbox is Kinect is Xbox. They are inseparable. To the system won't turn on if this is not connected. Like all these crazy things. And then all it took was a change in CEO of Microsoft and division heads to jump in to say, you know what? Why are you holding on to this thing that's dragging you to the bottom of the ocean? Let it go. Just let it go. Like all the people in Frozen did. And Microsoft decided to do that. So they've dropped the Kinect as being a default part of the Xbox One experience. So, Will, what do you think? Do you feel cheated? I know you already said no, but I got to ask that question because a lot of people have been talking about that online.
No, I don't. I would own the Kinect even if I had to pay for it separately. Just like right now, I'm still searching for a PS4 camera. Mm-hmm. I think it really adds to the value of the system, and I use my Xbox One for anytime I'm watching video content on the TV, which unfortunately is probably more often than playing games on it. And every time I'm watching something, I'm using my Kinect for something, whether it's changing channels because the remote's not at arm's length, or turning the volume up, or even coming downstairs. I kid you not, I've come downstairs, turned on the Xbox, made a sandwich.
Xbox, make me a sandwich.
Yeah. Everything else, queued up a show, everything but making a sandwich was done with my voice. And it's a pretty cool and amazing thing. And you know, I think this is a good thing. I do have some concerns with this decision, but I think it's kind of a short term, or it's a short play, and they're really trying to catch up with that PS4 right now. And I'm worried about the future development of the Kinect, but you know what? Yeah. For the short term, I want people to have that choice. So
yeah, exactly. We were chatting after this happened. I saw the article. I saw the internet blow up, and I texted you. I'm like, holy crap, it happened. And I sent you the link, and we went back and forth. And then you're like, you bastards, you got it right. I should never make bets, or whatever you said. And we knew something would happen but we thought it would be at E3 that Microsoft would make a big move. This is an interesting thing to do a month before their E3. Before E3 happened, essentially, was to do this. I think it has something to do with the NPDs for April. That's the last 4 months that the PlayStation 4 has greatly sold over top the Xbox One. I think Microsoft is finally just saying, okay, enough is enough. We got to get back in this game, and they're doing everything that they possibly can to make that a reality, so that they can start making ground back up on the huge lead that the PlayStation 4 has in this console generation.
Well, and they announced quite a few upgrades to the Xbox and to Xbox owners, and I read quite a few things about this. Is how many times is Microsoft going to go back on the things they say and the plans they have? And I read in a few places that, this is Phil Spencer riding the ship. And from reports that I've read or articles I've read, from day one, 5 weeks ago, he started to put some of these changes in place and really put the focus back on gaming, which was one of the huge criticisms, not only in the E3 presentation that Microsoft did last year, but a lot of those decisions.
The first time the Xbox One was shown off, they spent more time watching Family Feud than they did talking about games.
Right, exactly. And I'm sure
Price is Right, I guess it was, not Family Feud, but yeah. Anyway, same daytime television garbage.
And Spencer was probably like beating his head against the wall, thinking to himself, what are you doing? And I hope that's it, because the focus, it changes weekly. It's 1 week we're going to talk about TV and your console. The next week we're going to talk about digital distribution and really push that. The next week we're going to change all of that, and it's like your 360. I mean, it's focus, and hopefully now they're finding that focus and kind of that major direction.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with you. It is kind of a shame. Like Microsoft's initial idea of what the Xbox One could be: connect to the internet all the time, connect, no used games, everything digitally downloaded or loaded on your system. As stupid as I thought some of those decisions were, it would have been interesting to see what would have happened if Microsoft followed through with that. Obviously, that's not what the public wants. So it would have been even worse for Microsoft if they hadn't made the 180 that they did after E3. But it's so amazing. After this announcement, I'm kickstartering Harmonix for the new amplitude or the new frequency. Or new amplitude, I guess it is. But I was following one of their guys on Twitter, and right after this announcement, it was like 20 minutes later, there was a tweet that came out and said, "Oh, great, just great," was the tweet, because they're currently working on the Fantasia game, which needs a Kinect. So now you have game devs that have been working on a game for up to 2 years. They might have had pre-knowledge of what the Xbox One was going to be, say a year before it was announced. So they started working on a game based on Kinect only, because every single system is going to have a Kinect. And then now they had this rug pulled out from under them. I can understand a lot of disappointment from the development side of things, because I don't know, Fantasia. Who's going to buy this now? Because you're going to get a lot of families that are getting into the system, and they're getting in with the cheap system because they don't want to spend that extra $100. Well, they would be the people that would be buying this game. Same with any of the Dance Central or any of those other Kinect only games. That's got to be really disappointing for the development teams that have been putting up millions of dollars of development. Really, really crazy. So, not that that's a bad thing, but it makes you think as a developer. It's like, okay, this is what we were told, we were promised from our console developer, and now they've gone back 180, and this might end up like costing us a big chunk of change or forcing us to close our development studio down. I wonder what the actual real thoughts on that day were from a lot of the different developers out there.
Right. Well, and that's my concern too, as a Kinect owner, is that I want it's definitely not without its flaws, and so I want the experience to get better, and I want new gaming experiences, and I can't help but imagine what experiences we are not going to get now because the commitment or investment isn't as appealing for developers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, this basically means that for the most part, the Kinect is going to be something that is either going to collect dust or being used just for voice navigation for the most people out there, which is sad, I guess. But I mean, gamers, the hardcore that are buying the system have obviously made up their mind. They don't want to use the Kinect in their gaming. So maybe this is just the natural place where it should be. But now you're looking at a system that is the same price as another system, but is less powerful on a technology scale, and it doesn't really have this big other feature that the other one doesn't have. So there's still going to be some interesting battles come June when this new version of the Xbox One comes out. I still think it's not going to be it's not going to be a slam dunk for Microsoft, and this gives Sony and Nintendo, to a lesser extent, an ability to make a price drop, do something different, and say, okay, yeah, Xbox One is $400, but we're something else. We're cheaper. We come with this. We do this. It's amazing for Xbox to have flinched or blinked so quickly, and so long before E3, which gives all the other console manufacturers so much time to think of a reaction to this.
Yeah. And
the other thing that this has done is people that were looking to buy an Xbox One, they're not going to be buying one in the next month. They're going to be waiting till E3 to buy the cheaper ones. So this is potentially going to cost Microsoft some May sales. So you'll see low NPD numbers again when the May numbers are shown potentially as well. So just a really interesting thing. This is a really interesting hobby / industry that we follow. So.
Well, it's an interesting time for it too. I mean, I think we're seeing events transpire that are unheard of in the history of video games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Cool. So to recap, Xbox One, $400, June 9th, comes with the system and no Kinect. So you're saving $100. So as it is right now, come June 9th, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are going to have the exact same price in the market. Funny enough, it's actually going to be cheaper up here in Canada because Sony bumped up the price of their system by $50 and Microsoft didn't. Who knows what this price drop is going to do, though? If they're going to bump it up $50, who knows? But yeah, some interesting stuff to see here with this whole thing.
So now with this price drop, are you more tempted to jump on the Xbox bandwagon?
You know, I want one. I do want one. I just can't justify it right now. Having a system that there isn't enough games right now. I'm playing my PlayStation 3 more than I am my PlayStation 4, and I love the hell out of my PlayStation 4. I just bought new appliances. I just repaired my car. I just bought a new kick-ass iMac. I'm spending my money on other things, even though I do want an Xbox and I will own one. At least now I know that I'll be paying a little less to get it, maybe. Although I do kind of want the Kinect if I ever want to do video streaming. So, blah. Yeah. Anyway, cool. But I won't use it for gaming, which makes it $100 or $150 waste of money for me.
Which, that's the boat I'm in.
Yeah.
So I can't fault you for that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's the end of line. But there was a whole bunch of other bombshells that were dropped at the exact same time. The first that they talked about was that Xbox Live, the gold subscription, you're no longer going to need the gold subscription to do things like stream video. So things like Netflix and Hulu. Currently on the Xbox, you have to pay your gold subscription to be able to stream Hulu. Pretty much every device out there that is sold in stores, you go buy a toaster, it pretty much comes with Netflix built into it. So a lot of people are complaining that, hey, we don't we don't understand why we're paying Xbox Live to then stream our Netflix, which we're paying for. We're getting like some double dipping going on here. So thankfully, Microsoft finally came to their senses and got rid of that, because there's no reason why that should have been there from day one. Roku boxes, Apple TVs, Google TV, every phone, every tablet, most TVs, even not smart TVs. So the pre-smart TVs, some of them even had Netflix built in as the one app that they had. It's so ubiquitous and on everything. It was just so crazy that it was something that you had to pay for. So thankfully, Microsoft has gotten rid of that. And then at the same time, they announced that if you bought an Xbox Live Gold account just to stream video, you'll be able to apply for a refund and get a refund for the rest of your Xbox Live Gold subscription starting on June 9th, although it's going to take like 6 weeks to get your money back.
But they did say it was also prorated too. So
That's
I don't
right.
know how they're going to...
Yeah. So say if I bought my subscription in April, and starting June 9th, they're going to figure out, so I bought it April 9th. So I'm going to get a 10 months of the 12-month Xbox Live refunded back to me if I ask for it. But then that will cancel my Xbox Live Gold. I won't be able to play games and all that other stuff. So yeah, interesting. I'm glad that they're offering refunds. I don't think anybody will be taking advantage of that, but it saves them from a potential lawsuit down the road, because people definitely like doing class action lawsuits for things like this, which is just makes me shake my head. But again, I'm a Canadian, so what do I know about these things? And then the last thing is Microsoft has taken a cue from PlayStation Plus, and they've made games with gold essentially the same thing as PlayStation Plus now. So if you have an Xbox Live Gold account, you'll get 2 games on your 360 and 2 games on your Xbox One every month, which is great. Similar to PlayStation Plus, although PlayStation Plus has 3 consoles, so usually it's like 3 or 4 PlayStation 3 games, 1 or 2 Vita games, and then a PS4 game. So there's a little bit of a few more titles, and they're distributed differently. But it's really nice to see Microsoft get that kind of on the same level as PlayStation, because I mean that is the reason why people bought PlayStation Plus to begin with. It's been such a valuable thing to have. It'll be good to see people with gold accounts get some of the same features.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this, because this is something, as an Xbox player for such a long time, I looked at PlayStation or PSN in envy, because I couldn't understand the titles for the games with gold. They've been decent. Like this month is Saints Row the Third,
yeah,
and I can never say it right, but it's not Elysium, right? That's the movie.
Yeah, I can't remember what the other one is. I remember reading about it. Yeah.
Popular indie game. So anyway, it's not just throwaway games like the PlayStation. There's PlayStation 3 games. There's a ton of amazing PS Plus games there. Yeah. But it is going to be really nice to get some of these one games.
Yeah, exactly. It's the thing about Xbox Live games with gold is it's always been like these 8-year-old titles. It's good to see the last couple months they're newer titles, like they had Hitman Absolution. For June they're doing Dark Souls, Charlie Murder, and Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. So not 6-month-old games, but they're not 8-year-old games either, which is a nice change. And for Xbox One, Max: The Curse of the Brotherhood and Halo Spartan Assault will be the free titles. So they're getting a little bit better with the titles as well, which is going to be more value for anybody that has an Xbox Live Gold subscription, which is a good win for everybody.
Awesome. And since the Spartan Assault was basically a freemium game that cost $15.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So now
good to hear.
it is a freemium game
Right.
that will end up costing you a bunch of money. They also announced that they're going to be doing similar things to what PlayStation is doing. PlayStation's been doing flash sales lately, where I picked up like a stack of games for $5 each because that's what they were, and I'm just playing through one of them right now. I'm playing Duke Nukem or Duke Nukem. Was it Duke Nukem Forever? Is that what it is? No. Duke Nukem, Duke Nukem Forever. So whatever the crappy one that just came out after 12 years in development, I wanted to play it, and I was able to buy it for $5, which is great. I don't even know if it's worth that, but I'm playing it anyway. Microsoft announced they're going to be doing same things like that. So there's going to be discounts on great games each month. So it seems like they're looking at exactly what Sony is doing, and they're attacking it item by item, line by line, to be feature parity with what Sony's offerings are, which again is going to be a great thing for the consumer.
Well, you know what's great about these 3 news items?
What?
They're huge. They're really big news items. There's been lots of speculation on when are we going to see every single one of these. It's been really desired, and they finally came out and said it. But the crazy part is we're a month away from E3. So this, to me, I'm really excited because this tells me that there's going to be huge things at E3, and they don't want to clog up these other really big news pieces.
Or maybe they just don't want to get bitched at again because they talked about something other than games at E3. So all they're going to be doing at their press conference is talking about games, none of this other stuff, so that no one on the internet can complain, because everybody loves complaining online. Maybe that's all it is.
You're just a Debbie Downer.
I'm not a Debbie Downer. I'm just I'm thinking logically about this whole thing. But yeah, I hope this means that there's another dozen awesome announcements from Microsoft to really take this console war and kind of up the ante a little bit, so that I can see what Sony's response is, and then we'll see if Nintendo's just happy to go play in the corner by themselves with their tiddlywinks.
Which they literally are.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So Xbox One news explosion. Anything else to offer up, Will? Any other thoughts before we move on?
Nope.
All right. Well, we're not moving away from Xbox yet. This news just broke while we were prepping for the show, actually, and that is a leak of a game that will be announced at E3. Apparently, it's going to be called Halo: The Master Chief Collection, and it will be coming to Xbox One this year. And that is because Halo 5 apparently is not going to be coming out. I mean, it's already been announced it's coming out in fall of 2015. We've been told that we're going to get more Halo stuff this year. We didn't know what that was. There was the leak that it was going to be a Halo 2 HD collection, yada yada yada. But this one sounds even better. If this leak is true, Microsoft has denied to comment on this story. But apparently Halo: The Master Chief Collection is going to be a bundle that is going to have Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo 4 all into one package running in high resolution on your Xbox One. This makes me incredibly happy, Will. I'm a huge old school Halo fan, and I would love to pick up and play through Halo 1 and Halo 2 again in super high resolution on a modern console. That just makes me really, really, really happy to think about. What about you?
Me too. Well, I was telling you before the show started, you told me about this news items, and I hadn't had a chance to take a look at what it included so far, and you surprised me again. I didn't read Halo 4, which was actually, in my opinion, one of the best of the, I guess, Master Chief games.
Halo 4? Halo 4? Oh, okay.
I loved it. I know you said before it wasn't one of your favorites, but I really enjoyed it.
I don't know if it wasn't one of my favorites. I beat it in a day.
Yeah,
it was really,
I did too.
It was really linear and walk from point A to point B, but yeah, I mean, I dig it. I still think Halo 2 was my favorite one to play through.
Really, Halo 2, huh?
Yeah.
That's probably, well, mine would be 3 and then 2. 2's story, it's still, every time I played it, or like when I'd replay it, I'd have to go and read the wiki afterwards every single time because I couldn't understand it.
Yeah, it's good. I played so much old school Halo. Like I was telling you a story before when we were just prepping about doing deathmatch in my house with 2 Xboxes and just embarrassing a good friend of mine and my wife. They were in the basement playing a split screen, and I was upstairs on my own television, and they couldn't kill me. Because I had played so much multiplayer that I knew the maps, and I was no scoping from across the map because I knew where they would spawn, and it was like 50-0 when I heard a chorus of controllers being thrown on the floor, and it's just like, I should stop doing this. I used to play so much Halo Deathmatch. It's crazy. So this makes me really happy. I don't know. This might be enough for me to buy an Xbox One, to be honest with you.
I was wondering about that because you said you enjoyed the stories mostly too, right?
I love
anyway.
Yeah, I love Master Chief. I love Cortana. I just love that. I don't love the library. I don't love the Flood. But there's so much of the franchise that I do love that it would be cool to play through it in 1080p, 60 frames a second, or 900p, 60 frames a second, whatever it would be, on my plasma. Like just re-experiencing it would be a lot of fun, I think.
Well, and just this is going to sound really stupid, but just imagine how awesome it would be to, not that I would, no pun intended, marathon it, but just be able to play it from start to finish, the entire Master Chief Saga. And yeah, you do that in a week, but like it's in your system, it's downloaded, and you just, okay, I beat Halo 2, now I'm jumping right into Halo 3. There's not skipping a beat.
Can you imagine multiplayer? Can you imagine if they had all of the maps available online to play, like all the Halo 1 maps, Halo 2, Halo 3, like even the busted older versions of these maps compared to the redone versions in Halo 2 and Halo 3 and Halo 4. It would just be awesome to go back to Blood Gulch way back in the day and play through that. Like, it'd be great.
Still my all-time favorite map ever
so
in Halo is Blood Gulch. And I hate it. I always wanted just the original. They had all these different permutations, but just give me the original.
Yeah. No, it was so great. It like glitching through the map, landing up on the pillar at the top and sniping people, and there was just so much fun to be had in old school Halo. I was a huge fan, so this would be really fun to play.
Yeah, it is. Can't wait to hear more. And you know it's coming out in November because that is the month of Halo.
Exactly.
If the rumor's true, that is.
Yep. Hopefully that will be something that does happen. So, all right. Well, that's enough. Microsoft. Let's move on a little bit. This is weird. I heard this and I was just like, this is a thing. This is real. There's a game called Among Sleep, and it's coming to PlayStation 4, and it's gonna have support for the virtual reality headset, the Morpheus, when that finally hits. And this is a game where you are a toddler, you're a small child, and you're exploring a dark, spooky house in search of your mother. Will, what is this game, and why did you put it in the show notes? Why did you want to talk about this? This just creeps me the heck out.
I can't believe you haven't heard about this. I am so excited about this game.
I did hear about it, but I'm just like, I don't know if I want to play that. I have kids, and I don't want to think of a frightened child. So, yeah, it's just really bizarre. So why are you excited for this, and will you be picking it up to play with your Morpheus when you get that?
Well, it may be because I don't have children, but yeah, I'm very excited because it's a horror game and it's seen through the eyes of a toddler. I mean, your perspective is a foot from the ground. I guess toddlers are larger than a foot, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's very, very short perspective. You're wobbly, you're kind of off balance, and I think I don't know the story behind it, but I'm kind of hoping it's this idea of you're kind of seeing the world as a toddler, and so everyday items that are not scary to you and I because we know better can be scary to little kids. And I hope it's like you see a shadow that morphs into like a scary monster or something, and that's really what it is. And
that would be cool.
So that's kind of, and also it's just something new and unique in the horror genre. I don't know if it's survival horror, but the horror genre. So I I think that that genre is very easy to get stale, even though it's one of my favorites. And then imagine that perspective, but then in a virtual reality headset, just sounds wicked cool to me.
Yeah, I like it. In the chat room, they're talking about Outlast right now and all the other scary games that have been on the PS4. I played through a little bit of Outlast, and there was parts of the game where there's jump scares, and like I was playing and Kara was downstairs with me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I see the guy in the wheelchair over there. I bet you $5 when I walk up to him, he's gonna jump up and try to kill me. And sure enough, he jumps up, and you jump, you get startled, even though you know what's gonna happen. And then I made the mistake of playing this game late at night, and I just got really creeped out, and it's just like, this is bringing me back to like Resident Evil 1. And I remember the first time I played Resident Evil, borrowed it from a friend. He's like, oh, you're going to love this game. So I played it, put it in my PS1, turned off all the lights, got like settled in for a night of gaming, put my feet up, laid on the couch. It was great. And then like, the first zombie turned around and it was terrible graphics. I'm like, this is stupid. Then you walk down the hallway and the dogs jump through the window and you get scared. And then there's other things that break through the wall. And it's just like, okay, let me hit pause and go turn the light on. and I'm a grown ass man and I'm not scared of scary movies, but just things like this sometimes creep me out, and where it's just like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Yeah. This I think would probably have the same effect on me.
Well, I can play it and let you know. You can live vicariously through me.
Sure. And I mean, it's not that I'm scared. It's just creepy, right? You get that creepy feeling. Like I watched a speed run of playing through Outlast, and I mean, it's not scary when you watch it, but just something about playing it late at night when you're like sleep deprived and super tired, where it's just like, I kind of just want to go to bed now. I don't want to play this anymore.
You know, there's no one standing behind you, but that doesn't keep you from turning.
But you run the hell back up the stairs so no one grabs your foot as you're running up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so crazy. Our mind is a funny thing. So, Among the Sleep will be coming to PlayStation 4 with Morpheus support. I'll pretty much play everything that it has Morpheus support when that comes out. So I will probably play this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a Wii, another Wii renaissance, where you're gonna have this brand new thing, and there's just gonna be everyone throwing spaghetti on the walls and seeing what sticks, because it's gonna. Yeah. I just can't wait.
Like the Oculus bird simulator, where the guy made the flying machine that you lay down on and flap your arms to pretend to be a bird. There's going to be a lot of that crazy, weird, pseudo art kind of stuff, which is going to be really cool. I can't wait to hear more about this at E3.
Yeah.
Awesome. Moving on, there's an update of a system that's not available here, the PlayStation Vita TV, which was released in like November of last year in Japan. This is a small little box that has cartridge slots for the Vita. You can pair a joystick to it, so you can play your Vita games on your television with like a DualShock 4. Pretty cool. They just pushed out a firmware patch that now allows you to do PlayStation 4 remote play on another TV. This is the reason why I want a Vita TV. Mm-hmm. I want to have a Vita TV in like my bedroom or living room or something, so that I could play games on another television with my PS4 being in the basement. It would be really cool to have one in the office here when I record shows. Have something that I can basically take HDMI right out without having to worry about running big long cables across the floor, so I can have it coming right into my podcast rig. I got to get me one of these Vita TVs. I'm hoping that that'll be one of the announcements at E3. That PlayStation Now will be coming, and the PlayStation Vita TV will be shipping shortly after E3, supporting PlayStation Now and all the other great features that it supports already in Japan.
I'm really hoping for that too. Do you know what the price is on these things?
I think they were like
cheap, right?
I think they were like $110 or something after exchange. Like it was really cheap. It was like Apple TV pricing. But then you have to buy your own controller for it. So add another $50 on top of that.
Or can you pair a PS4 or PS3 controller to it?
Yep. So if you have a duplicate or an extra that you're not using, you can just pair it to this device. But yeah, you do need another one, because you don't want to go through the whole pairing process to go back and forth between your systems. But I like the Vita TV. it's kind of a neat little thing. I kind of want one. I hope it does come to North America sometime soon.
How cool would it be to just remote play, like you said, in your office? If the TV's taken up, you can still play your PS4 and
totally
get close to first-hand experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'd never put a Vita cartridge in the back of it, but I would download a lot of my Vita games and play them on my television. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, why not?
All right, cool. We talked a little bit about VR. We got a little bit more VR news, and that is after the acquisition of Oculus by Facebook for $2 billion. ZeniMax, who's the company that bought id Software that John Carmack worked for the longest time. He took a kind of a half-time job for a little bit where he was working half-time with Oculus, half-time with id. Eventually he said that he couldn't do it anymore. He became a full-time Oculus employee. Didn't hear much about that for a few months. Next thing you know, there's a sale. It gets bought for $2 billion. And then, I don't know, weeks later, ZeniMax basically accuses Oculus of IP theft and has now sued Oculus. Obviously, this is not related to the fact that they just got $2 billion.
No, of
and
course
ZeniMax wants their chunk of change for that. But a really weird story. Some other stuff has come out where one of the big things for Oculus was it was going to ship with a copy of Doom 3 VR. So when you kickstarted it, that was like one of the things. It's like when the retail units finally ship, it's going to be the Oculus. It's going to have Doom 3 VR. It's going to be great. That since has fallen through. And it turns out all of the VR things at ZeniMax were canceled because they wanted a piece of equity of the company, and Oculus said, well, no, we're not giving you equity in the company. If you want to make games for it, fine. If you don't. And then sure enough, months later, ZeniMax sues them because Oculus got bought, and they want to get their money somehow. They want their 10% of the $2 billion or whatever they're asking for. So really kind of a dirty story. Dirty money stuff always gets in the way of fun. I really hope that this doesn't do anything to Oculus, but they have all of Facebook's lawyers, so I don't think they're really worried too much.
Yeah, this is just dumb. This is them being pissed that they took their ball and went home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think is going to come of this? Do you think there's going to be a settlement, or do you think it's going to go to court?
I could see it going to having a settlement. I don't know. It's hard because you only get bits and pieces of the real story, and we're also not lawyers. But
exactly.
Like you said, they have the power of Facebook's lawyers behind them now, and I would imagine that those lawyers make a little bit more than ZeniMax lawyers do.
Yeah, Facebook has more billions that they could be throwing at lawyers. So
so it's just this is dumb. It almost upsets me, and we'll see. Like you said, though, I just hope it doesn't stymie any sort of advancement of the Oculus Rift and the plans for whatever Facebook has for it.
Yeah, exactly. Just really, really bizarre. But I mean, whenever there's lots of money involved, lawyers come feeding. That's a feeding frenzy. There's a drop of blood in the pool, and next thing you know, all the sharks start circling, and that's what's happening here. So we'll see what happens. We'll, if anything interesting develops, we'll definitely talk about that in future episodes of the DRes podcast. All right, Will, the day has come that I know you're interested in. You can now get Half-Life 2 on a mobile device. Can you wait? Pick up your iPhone, download it?
I'm so excited. Is that where it's at? I can finally play it on my iPhone?
It's iPhone-like. NVIDIA Shield. A lot of people have those, right?
I think maybe there's one or two out there.
The NVIDIA Shield, it's really not a mobile phone. It's a mobile game player. Like, that's why it was made. Interesting enough, Half-Life 2 and Portal 2, or actually the original Portal, not Portal 2, are now available on the NVIDIA Shield. They're available for $10 each, and they're actually ported by NVIDIA. So they weren't made by their main development studio. They didn't just port it out of a labor of love. NVIDIA actually paid people to port it for their device. They're both $10 each. So if you're a fan of the Shield and you own one, you can now get 2 really awesome games on this weird flip up old school screened portable wireless thing. I don't know, it's just so weird. When I see the NVIDIA Shield, it makes me think of all the add-ons you could get, where you could buy like LCD screens for your GameCube and other things, and it'll just be this little flip up screen to play the games on. It reminds me of that. Obviously it's higher resolution, but it's just, to me, just screams of weird. But apparently the people that own a Shield really like it. So I have not played one, so I cannot offer my own opinion.
So Shield, isn't it just running a modified version of Android?
Yeah, it's just another Android console.
So do you think we could see Half-Life? I guess not. Not if NVIDIA is the ones who ported it. I don't know. Are we ever going to see this on a Nexus tablet or HTC One or something?
Well, I think it's on the Google Play Store. But yeah.
We got to look that up.
So it's on Google Play, so I guess you could download it. But I think it really is only playable on the NVIDIA Shield, or if you have some other external device to do it. It's really kind of weird. Android is still such a weird ecosystem where stuff could ship for it, and it doesn't mean that it's going to work on your device, depending on all the different things that are out there. But
fragmentation.
But yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's out there. Half-Life 2 and Portal, $10, and it is on the Google Play Store for download and play on your NVIDIA Shield. Yes.
Hey, I guess it's value for Shield owners.
Yeah, exactly. Can't complain too much about that. All right, moving on. Last but definitely not least, it was announced this week that Diablo 3, the Ultimate Evil Edition, is going to be launching on August 19th for PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. It's going to be $60 on next gen, or current gen, I guess, and $40 on last gen. The interesting thing is it's going to have both Diablo 3 and the Reaper Souls built into it. And if you're currently playing Diablo 3 on your PS3 or on your Xbox 360 and you buy this version for your next gen console, you'll be able to port your saves over. So all your characters,
that's cool,
all the items you've unlocked, they will actually port over to this new version. So you can then jump in and play the Reaper Souls expansion pack, I guess, with all the characters you've been leveling up on your PS3 or your Xbox 360. Really cool feature. I'm super, super glad that they did that.
Are you planning on picking this one up?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I will snag this one for sure. I've been actually playing a lot of Diablo 3 with my wife, actually, on the PlayStation 3. So that's been a lot of fun to go through the game together. I played so much of this when it launched on PC. And I'm really enjoying going back and playing with a low level character. I think I hit level 20 recently, so it's just been a nice slow leisurely crawl through the dungeons of Diablo. Nice. But I would power level myself and get up as high as possible and start getting some awesome loot in prep for this so I could play it on my PS4.
Good call.
Yeah, I guess along the same lines, it was announced that 4J Studios, the development studio that's working on Minecraft, they're currently working on the PS4 and the Xbox One version, and they announced that the world size that is on the 360 and the PS3 right now isn't going to be the world size on the next gen console. They're actually looking at something that's about 36 times the size of the world. So you have this like 500 and change by 500 and change block world. You're now going to be able to, on the next gen, play with something that is basically a 6x6 grid of those worlds. So way more space, way bigger map. That made me super excited as well. I mention it here because they also announced a while ago that you'll be able to port your saves over from your old version and pick them up on the new version. So this seems to be a thing now, which I really, really love, because for the longest time it's like, yep, sorry, you bought the next gen thing, too bad. Now there seems to be a lot more expectation from the users, and the developers are actually taking that to heart and doing some work on that, which is a good thing.
Is 36 times larger needed? Is it?
Definitely. Yeah, you can walk across the world on the PS3 or Xbox pretty easily.
Okay.
And having more space means more awesome things to find. So you'll have more villages, you'll have more sand temples, jungle temples, more potential strongholds in the Nether. It's a good thing. Plus, if you're someone that is like basically making a city in your world, you're just gonna have so much more space to then start building this stuff out. It's definitely it's as close to the infinite worlds on the PC that most people will ever need. Like, it's such a huge amount of land to walk around and get across. It's
right.
That's going to be a really good thing.
Nice.
For sure. Awesome. All right, that's going to about do it for news. Let's get into the rest of the show. Will, what have you been playing recently on your game systems of choice?
Well, first off, I want to show you something I haven't been playing, but I think I'm going to break open
Sure.
right after the show. It's this guy.
Oh, look at that.
Finally, after months of consideration and talking to you and trying to convince myself what portable handheld I wanted to buy,
I'm glad
still
to
want
see
a
that
Vita.
you didn't listen to any of the stuff that I told you, Will.
No, I think you actually said because I was basically saying Vita or 2DS, and 2DS because I know you swear by the 3DS XL, and most people do, but I'm still worried I won't put the time in this thing that it deserves, so that's why I went the cheap route, and I got a steal on this thing, so I couldn't turn it down.
Yeah, you took advantage of the Target $100 deal.
Yeah, it was the last one I could find, actually, so I just had to pick it up, but Go ahead.
I was going to say, and you lucked out. You got the one that includes Pokemans. So you got Pokemans for free, which is like a $40 bundle. So it only cost you $60 for that system, which is pretty damn awesome.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of like the 3 must-have games that I've been wanting to play for years now on the 3DS. So it knocks that one off the list, and then I can get those few others, and yeah,
that's awesome.
I think I'll eventually get a Vita at some point just for the remote play.
Sure.
And I'm hoping maybe we'll see a price drop at E3 with that too.
Yeah,
but
that'd be good.
For the old model anyway, the 1000.
Yeah, I think at E3, do you know what's going to happen? Microsoft dropped their price $100. Sony's going to raise their price $100 by including a Vita with the system in an ultimate bundle.
Yeah, I thought about that too, and actually I tried to either hold off on either a Watch Dogs bundle or that bundle before I bought my PS4, and I just didn't have the patience for it. So that would be a pretty sweet gig, though, or to be able to get both systems for $100 more than what a regular PlayStation comes with.
Yeah, that'd be
awesome.
That would be really, really cool. Awesome. So congratulations, Will. Welcome to the world of the Nintendo 3DS. Well, 2DS in your case, but same hardware.
Same thing. Well, now I'm excited I listen to the Nintendo Pulse on occasion. Now I'm excited to actually be a part of the club, and hey, I can play Nintendo games again. Stop holding out hope. It's coming on mobile.
That's good. I'll feed you all the good games to buy, and then you can have some fun on that system as well.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, the games I have been playing, ironically enough, I've been playing a little bit of MLB The Show. You even watched me stream it the first night I played it, and oh man, am I bad at this game.
That's
so
okay.
bad. Yeah, it's fun though. It's cool. The graphics are gorgeous, and I suck at it, but it's something to do.
It's the quickest selling MLB game ever. They announced on the PS4, so or MLB The Show, not baseball game in entirely, but this is the fastest selling version of this game for the developers, and that's specifically the PS4 version. Even though it came out 2 weeks after the PS3 version, a lot of people were waiting for this version just because it looks so damn awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if my hopes were too high, being the first the show I've ever played. The graphics are great, but when most of the package is so good, you really start to nitpick and notice these small things, and you're just like, oh, those things just drive you crazy. And it's stupid things like when you hit a foul ball, it disappears through the back of the net, and you're like, no, I want to see it bounce off the net and the net ripple or whatever. That's stupid things like that. But yeah, it's fun. It's
nice.
fun. It's probably short-lived for me, but that's okay. I got the enjoyment I hope
You almost
for.
swayed me with your live streaming. I was watching it. I was just like, oh damn, I'm not a baseball fan. I mean, I like baseball, but I don't watch MLB. But I kind of wanted to buy it. It just looks so damn pretty.
Yeah. Oh crap! What was I going to say? Oh, it's funny because it does kind of have that. I heard you talking on last week's show about the Dark Souls and wanting to get into that, and then you decide you weren't masochistic enough for it.
Yeah.
This does kind of have that risk reward thing because I'm playing on the realistic batting setting. I have no idea what it's called, but you not only have to aim, you also have to time it, and so it's like playing baseball. You have to. Yeah. You have to track the pitch all the way to your bat and time it right and aim right. So when you start to like get a little bit better at that, you're like, oh man, this is a lot of fun. And now I'm only striking out 3/4 of the game instead of the whole game.
Nice.
So that's fun. I've been dipping a little bit more into Child of Light. I do want to try to finish that. I'm not sure if I'm going to, but still really digging that. I got to add you on the Ubisoft Uconnect to get those Oculi or whatever. Uplay.
Yep.
Uplay. So that would definitely help out a lot. So there's those two things. But then yesterday I got to play the new DLC that came out for Titanfall nice. Expedition.
What do you think?
Awesome.
Really?
So
good.
Yeah, it was well worth the money. It came with 3 packs, 2 of which I really, really love. One was just kind of okay. The 2 I like, there's one that's a swamp level, and you have a lot fewer trees, trees. You have a lot fewer walls to wall run on, but you have trees, and so your wall turns from a flat rectangle to a cylinder that you have to time your jump offs to really chain these jumps together. Played a capture flag map or match on that level, and I was able to jump from one. It was all luck, but I was able to jump from one end of the map to the other with the flag just from trees, and it was the coolest feeling
playing
ever.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, exactly, but nice. A little bit quicker pace.
Yeah.
And then the last map is actually my favorite, and it's a take off of the training area in the game when you first learn to wall jump or wall run. And I think the reason I like it so much is because it's training, so the wall running is pretty obvious, and you can just like fly across the map, and it's sweet. I can't wait to live stream it. You'll have to check out some of it when I'll play a little bit this weekend. You can see what those maps are like.
Awesome.
So that was fun. And then I have been playing this last week. I stopped playing it, but I was playing the WildStar beta, MMO for PC.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. It's like a sci-fi version of WoW.
Don't want to hear any of this conversation.
It's, you know what, honestly, it's really cool. I told you I pre-ordered it after my first day of playing the beta. That's how much fun I was having. And then I pretty much immediately regretted it because I'm playing the beta. All my progress is going to be wiped. And I wanted to get to a certain point in the beta to check out the player housing because that's a huge feature of this game. And but that's still 14 levels, which was probably, I don't know, 10 hours of playtime, if not more.
Sure.
That's going to be wiped. And when I look at that 10 hours, that's a single player game right there that I could have spent that time on otherwise. And you know, MMOs are not something that really end. And so I'm like, should I have bought this? All these Watch Dogs is coming out literally 3 days before. And yeah, it's a sweet game though. If you're into MMOs, it's a really good one. I'm excited for it.
I am. I love MMOs. I just don't love the time sink. I don't love the paying monthly. So I gotta I gotta not look into this anymore because I will buy it. But it looked really great. I watched some of the live stream after the fact, and it looked really, really awesome. So thanks for doing that, Will.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Well, I've been playing a fair bit as well. I've been playing the take the kids around to soccer every single day, which is I've also been playing the get home at 10 o'clock at night and go directly to bed game, which isn't as good. It's a terrible sequel to the first one, which is get home at a normal time and actually have time for gaming and other stuff in the evening. That was a much better game, so we'll see how that is over the next little while. But I've been playing a little bit. Last weekend, I managed to finally platinum Amazing Spider-Man 2. So that is gone, and I will no longer touch that game ever again. But I did platinum it, so there you go.
Nice.
That's what I wanted to do. I picked up, as I said earlier, Duke Nukem Forever for $5, and I've been going through and playing that. And it's a horrible, horrible game. It's busted. It's unfair in certain areas, but I'm laughing. I'm an old school Duke Nukem fan, and really kind of get a giggle out of some of the humor. I don't know if it's worth the $5 I paid for it, though.
It's that bad? Because I was thinking for $5, it's got to be.
Some of the levels are literally 2 minutes long. The load time to load the level is longer than the actual level. You die in the world, and there's like a 45 to 50 second load time before you can get back in and play again. Like, it's just inexcusable things like that. Plus, just... yeah, it's not that awesome, but it's funny, and I love kind of that humor. So I'm enjoying myself regardless.
Do you think it was because it was in such a long time in development, they finally just like packaged it up, threw it out the door, and say, we don't care, you get what you get?
Totally, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
They didn't work very much to fix anything else because they bought this at auction. They wanted to make some of their money back. So that's what they did. So yeah, it is horribly busted in so many different areas, but I'm enjoying my playthrough, kind of. I've also been playing a little bit of stuff on my Vita, mostly Tearaway, trying to scrape out the last of the trophies there, and it's such an amazing game from start to finish. I loved everything to do with this game, even the
Really?
grinding to get trophies. It's
Okay.
just, it's not a grind. It's fun to get in and play with your little paper character running through these paper worlds. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks so cool. I love
Super
the
charming.
yeah, exactly, the art style.
Yeah, it's really, really a lot of fun. There was news a little while ago that this is going to be coming to PlayStation 4. I like it enough where I might actually buy it to play it again on the PS4.
Really?
Yeah, it really is a fun game. So if you have a Vita, you definitely need to check out Tearaway. It was great, and it continues to be great. So I've been playing some of that, and this week I snagged a copy of Need for Speed Rivals on the PS4, and just got into that a little bit today. Played the first couple hours, since today was a weird day where I didn't actually have soccer, so I played with my son Nick, and yeah, it's kind of neat. The whole, you're always online playing with people that just stream into your game. You'll just see them drive by you. I don't know if I really love it yet, but I'm having fun with it. The graphics look just ridiculous, and it's pretty crazy hitting 250 miles an hour and seeing someone blow by you. And it's like, oh wow, there's a lot of game left to go. If that guy blew by me and I'm going 200 plus miles an hour, it seems like there's going to be a lot of gameplay in this one. So I'm going to have it for a week or two. So I don't think I'm going to totally destroy it and get all the trophies or anything, or level up to level 60 or whatever the max level is. But it is kind of cool how you can play as both the cops and the racers, and there's a different level up structure as you go through each of them. You unlock cars depending on the path that you take, so you don't have to really think, especially if you're playing the cops, you don't have to think too much, because you're as you level up and do things, you get access to new vehicles. When you're playing as a racer, you have to buy your vehicles by doing well. So it's kind of interesting how they're both different kind of games, even though they're all in the same game. I've been having a fair bit of fun with that.
So can you like hot swap between the two?
Yeah. You jump
Okay.
back. You jump back to your home base, and then you can change to the
that's
police or back, and go that way. But it is pretty cool. Just the whole, like, it's very Burnout Paradise, for obvious reasons, and it definitely is a lot of fun to play. Is it a game I want to own and play forever? I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm enjoying the heck out of it right now, so we'll see how long that lasts for.
I used to love Need for Speed games, but I haven't played one in a while.
I need a good racing game. I really do. I saw a trailer today. I just got to find out what it is. Yeah, the new Drive Club video, something to do with Canada. It's like Canada Mountain Race or whatever. This game looks ridiculous, and some of the stuff I read about this trailer, or this map that they were driving around, there's 1 million individual trees around this
Wow.
map, and there's times where you're going to see like 100,000 trees, and they're all there, and it looks so ridiculously awesome. Like, this game looks better than any racing game I've ever seen, so I'm really kind of looking forward to that one as well.
You haven't seen Project Cars. I think that game is the most beautiful game I've ever seen.
I have seen Project Cars. I've seen some of the videos of it too, and that one does look good. But if you see look at the video for, I'll try to dig up that video for you, Will, so you can watch it. There's really bad compression because it's on YouTube, but I've seen some stills of what it's supposed to look like, and if you can get by that compression, it looks. You can just imagine what it would actually look like. It's really, really good.
I can't believe we forgot to talk about any of that news this week, and the PS Plus version of Drive Club and how they changed it. They pulled an Xbox on us.
That's right. We totally should have talked about that. Let's talk about it now. Yeah. So Drive Club is going to launch free, but it's also going to launch retail. So as a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you're going to get, it's not going to launch as retail, but there's going to be a retail version that you can upgrade to on the PlayStation Plus network. So you get it for free as a PS Plus member. If you like it, you can buy the full version at a discount. And the initial talk was, if you let your PlayStation Plus membership lapse, too bad. You have to be a PlayStation Plus member to take advantage of this, which rightly so made the internet totally blow up. And Sony quickly, within like half a day, reversed that PR message and say, yeah, no, we're listening to you guys. We understand that this was a ridiculous thing to do in the first place. And just so you know, that if you buy it and your PlayStation Plus membership lapses, you can still play the game. We'll find a way to make that happen. So that was really incredibly quick a reaction. But how do they think that was a good idea in the first place? How does that even make sense?
Seriously, how did no one in some meeting someplace say, hey guys, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Do you know gamers?
Well, and the thing is, right now, like, if you buy a game on sale on PlayStation Plus, so you buy Duke Nukem Forever for $5, and your PlayStation Plus membership goes away, you still get to keep that because you paid money for it. This would be the first game that you bought at a discount that you didn't get to keep. And it's like, what? What are you doing, Sony? This is like, I saw that and I'm like, that can't be right. And then I saw the retraction and the correction, and I'm like, holy crap, it was right.
Yeah.
And it was fixed, thankfully, but why was that a thing to begin with? Really, really stupid move, Sony. I hope this is the last such move you make. Otherwise, I'm going to start regretting my purchase of a PS4.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. But I'm going to be mad at you guys for being douches, is what I'm going to be.
That works.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. And with that, that's about it for what I'm playing. I'm playing a fair bit of Hearthstone on my iPad as well. I want to level up all of the card decks to level 10 so I can get all the extra cards that are there. Slow, long slog to do that, but I say slog, not that it's a bad thing that I hate. It's actually a lot of fun. I've been playing the last couple days playing as a hunter, and I'm really enjoying that. I want to get into some of the other character classes as well, get some of that stuff going. So still digging the Hearthstone.
Nice. I haven't played it in a while, but I want to get back into it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely is a lot of fun. Cool. All right, Will, that's going to about do it for this episode, unless you have anything else to add right now.
No, the chat room has given me lots of fun games to play on my new 2DS. So now I am like Lloyd. I have a backlog that I'm going to have to get through. And hopefully next week you'll see lots of Nintendo games on my what I played this week.
One can hope, definitely.
So thanks everyone for that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for giving Will a lot of stuff to play. If you guys want to do that, let us know. VGPodcast@gmail.com. What DS or 3DS games should Will play? Send them in and we'll talk about it on a future episode. If you do send that stuff in, you can call our voicemail line 505 VG Podcasts, or you can go to our homepage, click leave us a voicemail or send voicemail, and and record the voicemail. You think I know what the button said by now, but I don't. It's just a button. It's a gray button on the side. You click it, you leave a voicemail, and that is that. Yeah, Will, that's it. I don't have anything else to add. It seems like we forgot something here on the show.
I don't know, man. We did lots of random stuff. We talked about lawyers suing lawyers. We talked about Xbox, Microsoft changing things on us. We talked about. I don't know. Here's the thing: if you play D-Res Bingo, you can pretty much count on a few things. One, we're gonna say something bad about Microsoft. Two, we're
not entirely true. That's kind of true.
Kind of true, at least for now. Until hopefully after E3, that won't be the case.
Sure.
We're definitely gonna say something about Oculus and how much we love it.
Yeah.
And Lloyd is going to get made fun of in the chat room for pulling a Lloyd and buying games that he never plays.
Yeah, people said I should make a T-shirt with a pile of games, and it should be the caption under it should be "I pulled a Lloyd." That is a terrible idea for a shirt. Although the other one, which was a arcade cabinet with something to do with microtransactions, I like that, and I want to make that shirt and put it up on a site somewhere that people could buy, because that is a really awesome idea. So I want one anyway. So I'll at least make one of them. I'll at least make one of them. But yeah, I do that a lot. So thanks, chat room, for being jerks. I mean, for being totally correct. All right, well, thanks for coming out and sneaking in after a quick jaunt from the movie theater to come back here. We love doing this show each and every week. We love hearing from you guys, so please do send in your feedback. But until next week, that's going to about do it for the D-Res podcast. Take it easy, everybody. We'll talk to you in about 7 days' time.